The jungle was not quiet tonight. Nathan sat near the fire, his eyes scanning the dark edges of the alien forest. The wind whispered through violet trees. Strange lights blinked like fireflies, but they weren't insects. This planet was beautiful, but dangerous. He had been sent here as part of a small research team, but now he was alone. His team had scattered after the attack 2 nights ago. Something had torn their camp apart. Something fast. Something brutal. Nathan tightened his grip on the hunting knife at his side. He hadn't slept properly in 2 days. Not since he saw the first shadow move just outside the camp. It had red eyes, glowing. Watching tonight, he felt it again, that presence. The sound of soft steps on dead leaves. The way the wind stopped for no reason. The hairs on his neck stood up. Then it came fast. A blur of black and silver. Fur leaped out of the trees and knocked him off the log. The fire cracked and sparks flew. Nathan rolled on the ground, knife in hand, trying to breathe. He looked up and froze. She stood there, tall and wild. Her legs were like those of a wolf, fur covering her arms and tail. But her face was sharp, young, almost human. Purple glowing eyes stared straight into his soul. Her claws dripped with something dark, maybe blood, maybe not. She didn't speak. She growled. Nathan slowly backed away, trying not to show fear. But she followed. She sniffed the air, tilting her head. Then she crouched low, her muscles ready to spring again. Nathan didn't run. He knew running would end badly. "I don't want to fight you," he said slowly, voice calm but loud. "I'm not here to hurt you." The werewolf girl didn't move. Instead, she studied him. Her nose twitched. Then, without warning, she lunged again. But this time, she didn't strike. She landed near the fire and crouched beside it, sniffing the flames like a curious animal. Nathan, heart racing, didn't move. She sat, her tail brushing the dirt, still watching him. For a long moment, neither of them moved. Finally she looked at him, then looked at the fire again. Her ears twitched. She was breathing heavily, her chest rising and falling. Nathan realized she was injured. There was a cut on her side, bleeding slowly. "You're hurt," he said softly. She didn't answer. But she didn't growl either. Slowly, carefully, Nathan reached into his backpack and pulled out a clean bandage. He didn't move closer. He just placed it near the fire and stepped back. The girl tilted her head, looked at the bandage, then back at him. To his surprise, she crawled forward, took the cloth, and started pressing it against her wound. Nathan sat back down. She stayed there, by the fire. She didn't leave that night. He didn't sleep much, but he didn't run either. And when the twin moons rose high in the sky, the alien werewolf girl curled up on the ground across from him, her eyes slowly closing. Nathan couldn't understand what had just happened. But one thing was sure, this was not a normal animal, and whatever this creature was, she had made a choice. She had come to kill him, but now, she was sleeping by his fire. Nathan woke up to the sound of soft breathing. For a moment, he forgot where he was. The alien jungle, the fire, the attack. It all came back in one sharp breath. He turned his head slowly. She was still there. The alien werewolf girl lay on her side, her tail curled near her legs, arms folded under her head. Her ears twitched now and then, even while she slept. The early morning light made her silver fur shine with soft purple hues. Her wound was wrapped clumsily with the bandage he had given. Nathan didn't move. He just watched. He had no idea why she hadn't killed him last night. She was fast enough, strong enough, and clearly not afraid. But something had stopped her. Maybe it was the fire. Maybe she saw something in him, or maybe she was more than just a wild beast. Hours passed. Birds cried from the treetops, and distant roars echoed through the alien jungle. Nathan knew he needed to move. He couldn't stay out here forever. But he also knew leaving meant danger and possibly death. His supplies were low, his comms broken. And this planet didn't care if you were human. When she finally woke up, her eyes opened slowly, bright, glowing, and sharp. Nathan didn't speak. He just waited. She looked at him, not with anger, not with fear, but with curiosity. Then to his shock, she spoke just one word: "Why?" Her voice was deep but soft. Rough, like it hadn't been used in a long time. Her accent was strange, alien. Nathan blinked. "Why what?" She pointed to her bandaged side. "Why help?" He stared at her, surprised she could even speak his language. "Because you were hurt," he answered. "I don't like to see others bleed, even if they tried to kill me." She looked down, thoughtful, then nodded once. "I could have killed you," she said. "I know," Nathan replied. "But you didn't." They stared at each other for a while. Then she stood slowly and walked to the edge of the camp. Her ears twitched. She was listening. "They will come," she said after a moment. "Who?" Nathan asked, standing up now. "My pack." That word made Nathan's heart beat faster. "Will they be like you?" She looked over her shoulder. "Worse." Nathan's stomach turned. "Will they kill me?" She didn't answer at first, then said, "If they find you, yes." "And what about you?" he asked. "Will you help them?" She looked down. Something shifted in her eyes. A flicker of pain. "I don't know," she whispered. Nathan didn't know what to say. The jungle suddenly felt colder. Then she walked back to the fire, crouched down, and touched one of the small metal tools beside his pack. She turned it in her claws, curious. She sniffed it, then tossed it back with a grunt. "Strange things," she muttered. "You human." Nathan gave a small smile. "And you, Wolf?" She tilted her head. "I am Verena, not Wolf." "Not human. We are called Zerali." "Zerali," Nathan repeated. She nodded. "We hunt, we fight, we live by strength. Fire is weak, but warm," he chuckled. "You're not wrong." Then, to his surprise again, she gave a small smile. Just a twitch of the lips, but it was real. Nathan sat across from her. "Why did you come to our camp that night?" She looked away. "We saw your lights, thought you were invaders. Took orders, no questions. And now?" he asked. Verena didn't speak, but her silence said enough. She wasn't sure anymore. That night, she didn't attack. She didn't leave either. She sat by the fire, watched the flames, watched and when the moons rose again, she laid down closer. This time Nathan didn't know what she wanted, but he felt something strange in his chest. That's something he couldn't name yet. The war wasn't over, but maybe something else was starting. Something neither of them understood yet. The next day was quiet, but Nathan's mind was in single quotes he kept checking the tree line, listening for movement. Verena had warned him. Her pack might come. If they did, they wouldn't ask questions. They would attack. She moved silently around the camp, light on her feet, like a shadow. She sniffed the air now and then, her ears always alert. Nathan didn't ask where she went when she disappeared for a few hours, but when she came back, she brought food. Some strange alien fruit, purple and soft. Sweet, but a little bitter. "You eat this?" Nathan asked. Verena nodded. "Keep strength." "Not poison." He took a small bite. "It wasn't bad." "Thanks." She didn't smile, but her eyes softened a little. Later that afternoon, Nathan tried fixing one of the broken devices. He wanted to contact the main base, let them know he was alive. But the circuits were fried. Verena watched him work. "Your kind builds too much," she said. Nathan looked at her. "You don't use machines? We use what we need, nothing more." He nodded. "Sometimes I think we forget that." She walked over and sat across from him, her tail resting beside her legs. Her wound was healing fast. Too fast. Nathan guessed her species had some kind of rapid regeneration. Do you miss your pack? He asked. Verena didn't answer right away. Her eyes drifted toward the trees. They were all I knew, she said. Until I saw you. Nathan tilted his head. What do you mean? You didn't run, she said. Didn't beg. Didn't fight. You gave help even when you were scared. I was very scared, Nathan said with a small smile. She looked at him again, more serious now. We are trained to hate your kind. Told you were invaders. Thieves that you would burn. Our world. Do you still believe that? I don't know what to believe. The wind blew gently through the jungle. The fire crackled between them. Then suddenly, she stood up, her nose twitching. What is it? Nathan asked quickly. Someone's. Close, she whispered. Nathan grabbed his knife. His hand was shaking. Verena stepped toward the edge of the camp. Her body tense, claws out, fangs bared. Then came a sound soft, almost like a growl mixed with a howl. Verena turned fast. She grabbed Nathan's shoulder. Hide. What? Why? No time. Hide now. Nathan ducked behind a large tree trunk and covered himself with jungle leaves. He peeked out just enough to see her standing alone near the fire. Then they came, two of them tall, like Verena, covered in dark fur, eyes glowing red. Their faces were twisted with rage and pride. One of them growled. Verena, you failed. She stood firm. I made a choice. You betrayed blood, the other snarled. I saw truth, she said calmly. He is not the enemy. One of them stepped forward. He is human. So am I, she said. Voice rising, half. Nathan froze behind the tree. That word hit him hard. Half? The two wolves looked shocked, angry. You lie. One of them shouted. No, Verena said. My mother was human. I was raised by the pack, trained like them. Made to forget what I was. But now I remember. You are weak, the larger one growled. Then test me, Verena snapped. The fight started in seconds. She moved faster than Nathan had ever seen. Claws clashed, teeth snapped, roars echoed through the jungle. Firelight flashed off. Fur and blood. Nathan couldn't stay hidden. He couldn't let her die for him. He ran out, shouting, Verena! One of the attackers turned toward him, and that small distraction was all she needed. Verena struck hard. The larger one fell. Other fled into the shadows. Silence returned. She stood there, breathing heavy, blood dripping from her claws. Nathan ran to her side. You're hurt again, he said. I'll heal. She looked at him. You should have stayed hidden. I couldn't, he said. You fought for me. I couldn't just watch. She gave a weak smile. You're brave, she whispered. They sat by the fire again that night, and this time, she didn't just sleep near him. She leaned against his side. For the first time, Nathan felt like he wasn't alone on this alien world. Asterisk, the stars were bright that night, and the twin moons hung above like silent eyes watching over them. Nathan stayed awake, watching the fire fade into soft orange coals. Verena rested with her back against him, her breathing slow, calm. For the first time since he landed on this planet, he felt safe. But he knew it wouldn't last. She had fought her own kind for him. Now her pack would know, and they would not stop. When the sun rose, the sky turned violet pink through the trees. Nathan stood up and stretched, his muscles stiff. Verena opened her eyes slowly, blinking against the light. We need to move, she said without warning. Where? Nathan asked. They will come back, more of them, and they won't fight with honor. He packed his things quickly. Then where do we go? There's a cave. Not far, deep, hidden. Nathan nodded. Lead the way. They moved through the jungle together. Verena walked ahead, always alert. Nathan followed, careful not to make noise. Strange creatures watched them from the branches above, but none attacked. After an hour of walking, they reached a wall of vines hanging from a rocky cliff. Verena pushed through, revealing a narrow opening. They stepped inside, and the temperature dropped. The cave was dark at first, but soon it opened into a wide space with glowing blue crystals along the walls. Nathan stared in awe. It felt like a hidden world. "This place is beautiful," he said. "It was my mother's," Verena replied. "She hid here when the war began." Nathan looked at her. "You never talk much about her." "She was human. Like you, kind, brave, but the pack never accepted her. When she died, I forgot her." "You didn't forget," he said. "You just buried it." She didn't answer, but her eyes looked far away. They spent the day gathering water from underground streams and resting. Nathan used some of his remaining gear to set up a small alarm system with tripwires near the entrance. Just in case, that evening while eating roasted jungle roots, Verena spoke again. "You should leave this planet." Nathan raised an eyebrow. "And how exactly do I do that? My shuttle's broken. Communications are dead. Base camp is too far." "Then we will go together," she said firmly. "To your base." He shook his head. "If they see you, they might shoot first. Then we show them I'm not the enemy." Nathan looked at her face in the soft blue light. She wasn't just an alien or a werewolf anymore. She was something else strong, intelligent, and deeply alone. Like him, he reached out slowly, placing his hand over hers. "I'm not leaving without you," he said. She stared at him for a moment, then nodded. "You will not walk alone," she whispered suddenly. They heard a soft click. Nathan turned his head fast. One of his tripwires had snapped. Verena was already on her feet, claws out, eyes glowing. Nathan grabbed his knife. From the darkness near the entrance, something growled. Then a voice echoed deep, cold, filled with hate. "Verena, you disgrace the blood. You will kneel," she growled back. "You are no alpha." A figure stepped into the light. He was larger than the others, his fur black as the void, with scars across his chest. His eyes burned red. Nathan's heart pounded. This one was different, stronger, older, more dangerous. "Leave him," the alpha said. "Come back, or die with the human." Verena didn't move. "I've already made my choice." "So have I." The alpha charged. Verena met him with a roar that shook the cave. Claws clashed, fangs tore. Dust and crystal shards filled the air. Nathan tried to help, throwing rocks, using the torch to scare the alpha back. But he was too strong. Verena was bleeding, her arm slashed. But she didn't stop. Nathan saw it in her eyes. She wasn't fighting for survival anymore. She was fighting for him, for both of them. And in that moment, he realized something he hadn't before. She wasn't just staying by his fire, she was protecting it, and maybe she had found something worth protecting too. The cave was filled with the sound of growling, crashing, and claws scraping against stone. Nathan backed away, breathing hard, heart racing. The alpha and Verena fought like wild storms. Their speed, their power, it was like watching two monsters tear through the air. But Nathan didn't see monsters anymore. He saw her, bleeding, tired, but still standing. Verena dodged the alpha's heavy strike, then spun low and clawed his leg. He roared, but didn't fall. He grabbed her by the throat and slammed her into the stone wall. The sound echoed like thunder. Nathan shouted, "Verena!" He couldn't just watch. He grabbed the sharp end of a broken crystal and ran forward. The alpha didn't see him coming. Nathan drove the crystal into the alpha's side. It wasn't deep, but it was enough. The alpha howled in pain and threw Nathan across the cave. Verena dropped to one knee, coughing. Then she looked up, eyes glowing brighter than ever. With a roar, she leapt at the alpha with everything she had. She struck him. Again and again, claws, teeth, rage. This wasn't just a fight for survival. This was freedom. The alpha stumbled. Blood poured from his side. Verena grabbed him by the shoulders and slammed him into the wall. Once, twice, the stone cracked. He tried to claw her face. She grabbed his arm and snapped it. He fell. And this time, he didn't rise. Verena stood over his body, chest heaving. Eyes still glowing. Then slowly, she turned toward Nathan. He was on the ground, holding his side, blood on his shirt. "I'm okay," he said through a wince. She rushed to him and knelt down. "Fool," she said quietly. "You could have died. So." "Could you?" he whispered. Their eyes locked. So much unspoken pain and fire between them. She reached out and touched his face gently with her clawed fingers. "You are not like the others," she said. "You're not either," he replied. For a while, neither of them moved. The cave was silent now, safe, but danger still lingered outside. "We can't stay here," Verena said. Nathan nodded slowly. "Then we go to the base." She helped him stand. His ribs hurt, but he could walk. They packed what little they had, and before leaving, Verena looked back at the place where her mother once lived, and where she had nearly died. No more hiding, she whispered. They traveled for 2 days through the jungle. Nathan leaned on a walking stick, and Verena stayed close, always alert. Once, a flying creature circled above, but she growled so fiercely that it flew away. At night, they lit small fires, and she still slept beside him. No longer just a protector, but something more. On the third morning, they saw tall walls of metal and lights blinking above the trees. Human base. Nathan stopped, breathing hard. "We made it." Verena didn't speak. She stood still, eyes fixed on the guards in the distance. "They'll shoot me," she said. "Not if I speak first. They won't believe you. They'll have to." He took her hand gently. "Walk with me." They stepped into the clearing together. Guns were raised instantly. Soldiers shouted, "Drop your weapon." "Get down." Nathan raised both hands. "Wait, she's with me." The guards looked confused, scared. "She's one of them," one shouted. "She saved my life." Nathan yelled back, more than once. The commander stepped forward, his gun pointed straight at Verena. "Move." "Aside, Lieutenant." Nathan didn't move. "She's not the enemy," he said. Verena stood behind him, quiet, tense, her eyes watching every move. "She has a name," Nathan said. "Verena." The commander hesitated. The other soldiers waited. Then Nathan stepped aside just enough to show he trusted her. Verena stepped forward, slowly. No claws out. No growling, just her eyes, open and calm. "I am not your enemy," she said, voice steady. "I fought for him, I bled for him. I chose him." The jungle behind them was silent, and then, so was the base. Guns lowered. The commander looked at Nathan, then at her. His face was hard, but he nodded once. "Stand down." The soldiers relaxed. Nathan finally let out a breath. She looked at him. "You said they wouldn't believe you," she whispered. "I said they'd have to." He smiled. And for the first time, so did she. Days passed. Verena stayed inside the human base. At first, the soldiers watched her closely. She could feel their fear, their doubt. Some whispered behind her back. Some avoided her completely, but she didn't growl. She didn't threaten anyone. She just stayed close to Nathan. He helped her learn more human words, helped her understand their machines, their food, their way of thinking. Sometimes she asked strange questions. Sometimes she said nothing at all and just sat near the fire in the base's small outdoor yard, staring at the stars. But slowly, things began to change. A medic helped clean her wounds. A mechanic showed her how solar tools worked. A child from the civilian sector offered her a flower, purple and soft, just like the ones in the jungle. She accepted it with a quiet smile. Nathan watched it all with quiet pride. One night, while they sat together near the small fire pit, Verena spoke. "I don't know who I am anymore." Nathan looked at her. "What do you mean?" "I'm not like them. The pack, I'm not like you either, not fully. I'm caught in the middle." He was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "Maybe that's why you're the bridge between both." She blinked. Bridge? You understand both sides, he said. You speak both. You've lived in both worlds. That makes you stronger than either. She didn't reply, but her eyes glowed softly in the firelight. The next day, the base commander asked Nathan to come to the meeting hall. Verena came with him. We've received a message, the commander said, from orbit. A rescue shuttle is arriving tomorrow. Nathan felt a strange mix of relief and fear. He hadn't thought about going home in a while. What happens to her? He asked, looking at Verena. She's not on the mission list, the commander said. Technically, she's not part of any human program. Nathan shook his head. She saved my life. She stood with me. She's part of this now. The commander looked at Verena. Do you want to leave this planet? He asked her directly. She looked around the base, at the sky, then at Nathan. I don't want to be hunted anymore, she said. I want to live. I want peace. The commander nodded slowly. Then you can come. Nathan smiled. Verena tilted her head. Are you happy? Only if you come too. That night, they returned to the fire. Nathan couldn't sleep. He stared at the stars again, wondering what Earth would be like now. Would she be safe there? Would she be treated as a guest or a threat? He felt her hand touch his. You're thinking too loud, she whispered. Sorry. You still want to go? He nodded. Yes, but only if you're beside me. She looked at the fire. I never had a fire before, she said. Only darkness, only cold. He turned to her. And now? She gave him a small smile. Now, I have warmth. The next morning, the shuttle arrived. Its engines roared like thunder, dust flying across the jungle. As Nathan and Verena stepped aboard, the soldiers saluted them. Some looked confused. Some looked amazed. One of them even whispered, Is she really with him? She heard them, and she didn't flinch. She stood tall, proud. Human scientists on board took notes, scanned her DNA, asked careful questions, but she only answered one. I came with him. I stay with him. The shuttle rose into the sky, leaving the wild planet behind. Verena looked out the window, ears twitching as the stars grew brighter. Nathan sat beside her. He handed her a blanket. She blinked. What is this? For when the fire's not near. She wrapped it around her shoulders and leaned against him. The stars outside shimmered. And for the first time in both their lives, they weren't alone anymore.